This is long-winded because it's everything that's in my head. Fast forward 3 years and we are getting married in a hotel courtyard. The preacher said it's too bad there's no music playing as she walked down the aisle. I said, you don't hear the music? I do, I hear it every time she comes around. I'm in heaven, I'm with my best friend and soulmate. I'm happier than I have ever been in my whole life, excluding the days my kids were born. Then it happened. I was doing chores while Dee was in school furthering her education. While changing the bed sheets, I found a 38-page journal of my life is over without you, Eric, between the mattress on her side of the bed. Spoiler, I'm not Eric. I was devastated. I felt my whole world just ended. Karma was a bitch and I felt I deserved everything I was going through as I spiraled back into depression. We talked and talked. She stated she had written it to get things out of her head. My rose-colored glasses masked the massive shade of red and I was blind to everything. So I accepted her word and tried to put it behind me. It took some time but forgave her and I felt like myself again, with this amazing woman who made me want to be a better man. She gave me purpose in life. Life went on, I was always trying to do things to make her happy. I felt I wasn't good enough for her, so I tried to get better all the time. One day I was getting everything ready to leave to visit her kids 500 miles away. We would drive there, spend the night and drive home. I was packing, she was at late classes in school. It got later, she wasn't home, it got later. I called, she wasn't answering, it got later. I grabbed her son and headed to the college, drove around, found her car. We got out and walked toward the closest building and there she was sitting on the steps in the dark with some guy. I said, you know it's getting late and we need to leave soon, and I turned and walked away. I got home to finish packing. I grabbed her suitcase to pack everything and a card fell out of the front pocket. And I love you, Tim. Card, spoiler, I'm not Tim and neither was the guy she was sitting with. After all these years I still have the card with the extra note inside. I confronted her with this when she got home, but we needed to hit the road to visit her kids, so I didn't continue the discussion. When we got home we talked and I asked her point blank if she loved me. She didn't/couldn't answer. I packed a bag and left. I divorced her a few years later. I always hoped she would see me for her soulmate and realize her mistakes. That never happened. I feel she was my soulmate, I just wasn't hers. Funny anecdote, when I was in court to finalize the divorce, the judge pro tem asked why I was divorcing my wife, for his records. I answered she had too many boyfriends. I thought the whole court was going to collectively choke. One of my fondest, no filter between my brain and mouth moment. That was over 20 years ago. She texts me a couple times a year. As soon as the conversation dies away I delete her number so I'm not tempted to say something stupid and gush. Once every few years she travels out to my state to see her kids and grandkids. She stops by for a couple hours or so and it always causes those feelings to resurface. I go right back to that 36-year-old schoolboy. I've had a few girlfriends and relationships since. After my last relationship ended I never put much effort into meeting anyone else. I always felt meeting someone would just happen organically, so for the past 12 years I've been single. This brings us to today. I realized not long after I turned 69 that life has passed me by and I'm going to die alone. I'll never be in another relationship. I'll never have a person who loves me. I'll never have that intimacy with a partner. I'll never get to roll over in the middle of the night and feel the warmth of a body next to me and hear the person next to me breathing softly and feel their heartbeat. I'll never feel a woman's softness and sweet smell or be able to kiss their neck, my favorite thing in life, or feel their arms around me. Everyone says it's never too late to find someone. I don't agree. There comes a point in time when you just have to accept it's too late and there's no hope of having someone X in your life. I can't see putting myself out there knowing my time on earth is getting shorter and shorter. I could never start a relationship knowing I'll be gone and my person will be left to deal with the loss. I can't put another person through that. I still think I'm young, but I know I'm not, so I just don't do anything about meeting anyone. So I work, I sleep, I work, I sleep, rinse and repeat. I live with my depression and I feel like this is all payback for my being such a massive raging asshole and hurting so many people when I was younger. Karma is still a bitch and I'm biding my time until I die alone. Maybe tomorrow, maybe 10 years from now, who the fuck knows? So that's it. If there's only one takeaway from all of this, it's, be true to yourself and your people. Don't be the massive raging fucking shit stain that I was in my earlier life. I'm going to die with all these regrets and guilt. Don't be like me.